So this is the Lincolnshire Aviation Heritage Centre at East Kirkby, so east coast of Lincolnshire. And it's an original wartime bomber command base with the museum set up on it.
And and I've been here many times before and done many things here, but number one, we've got an amazing day today. Beautiful weather.
Yeah, I could lie to you and say it's always like this at East Kirkby,
but it's not.
No.
Now, of course, your star attraction is behind us.
Yep.
Just Jane, the Lancaster. Now, how's things going with the plans to get that Lancaster
flying
airborne?
Yeah. So we're about halfway through the project. We've probably got another 5 years or so. So as she sits at the moment, there's parts of other Lancasters that we've borrowed to fit to taxi with. We have to taxi her to raise the money to then restore her to airworthy. And while we're borrowing a piece, our piece comes off, gets restored to airworthy and gets swapped back again. As
you're speaking, the Aviation Heritage Centre information has come up on the screen and people can see about booking, because you can actually, describe the taxiing experience, please.
Yeah, so you can book to have a ride on board the aircraft. So the Lancaster doesn't take off, but the engines start up and it taxis around the airfield and it's kind of a mock takeoff, so up to the end of the runway, quicker down the runway and then back again.
Wow, and I've been here when, not in it, but when that's happening, the sounding is inside it. It's just incredible. You're experiencing something. It really is special, right? Even for you, I'm sure, after all this.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't get tired of doing it, definitely.
No.
So yeah, all 4 engines are Merlin engines, so they kind of seem to be the engine that won the war. So the 4 Merlins start up just outside the hangar here. And yeah, it's puts the hairs up on the back of your neck.
Wow. Now I understand we're going to be privileged in a minute and get a look inside.
Yep.
But before we do that, tell us that there's obviously work going on. We can hear that happening. What else, if people come here to East Kirkby, are they going to find at your centre?
So aircraft-wise, we obviously have the Lancasters you've spoken about. We've got the Europe's only taxiing Mosquito. So Mosquito is a very famous wartime aircraft, made out of wood, basically. We also have a B-25 Mitchell here as well, which is an American aircraft operated by Bomber Command and the Americans as well. All in the hangar here. We're also being on a World War II bomber station. We have quite a few of the original buildings as well. So the control towers, as it was during wartime, all set up in the original configuration inside.
Is that on our list of things to do? Can we go in?
Yes, certainly go in and have a look.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, and then we've got other things like billets set up, briefing rooms set up, and the other buildings hold displays about escape and evasion, and lots of things about Bomber Command in the wartime.
Wow, this is quite the incredible place. Let's get in there and have a look inside, just Jane, and then get a look around the place. Okay, we're going in. Can I go lead the way?
Yeah, lead the way. Just mind your head as you go.
I'm leading the way. Fantastic, Andrew. Wow.
So as we go up, we're stepping on top of the bomb bay, and above us here is where the Minipa turret would have been fitted. So we had a 360-degree view around the aircraft to defend the aircraft. And as we keep going forward, we're walking over the top of the bomb bay where all the bombs were held underneath.
How many men would have been on board here?
So it's a 7-man crew in total. So rear gunner at the back, mid-upper gunner, and then get towards the cockpit with the navigator, wireless operator, pilot, flight engineer, and the bomb aimer.
Wow.
So the Lancs are notorious for the spars that run through it because it makes it hard to get through. So you've got the rear spar and then the main spar coming up in front.
And on a mission, would there have been much need to move about the plane like we're doing?
Not really, no. They did have carry-around oxygen bottles, so they could put their oxygen supply onto the carry-around bottle and move around. But other than going to the toilet or checking on other crew members, there's no real need to move around.
That's good, because it's not easy to move around, is it?
No, if you think about it, bobbing around, flying as well, and particularly bailing out of the aircraft in an emergency was very difficult for Lancasters. Because of the spars to get over, and everything seems to be in the way. So over the top of the front spar here, you've got the main crew area, so to speak, so the wireless operator, and then the navigator on the left here, and up in the cockpit here we've got the pilot on the left, flight engineer on the right, and down in the very front is the bomb aimer's position. So up here you're in the pilot's position, so either side of the yoke on the floor there you've got your rudder pedals, so they move the vertical fins at the back of the aircraft, the rudders. Straight in front of your chest is what they call the yoke. So if you turn that left and right like a car, that moves your ailerons. So that allows your aircraft to bank left and right. Towards you and away moves your elevator, so you climb and descend.
So I'm by myself. Is somebody sat there?
You've got a flight engineer who stood or sat beside you.
Right.
But you're the only one that does and can fly the aircraft.
The only one that can?
Yeah. Yeah, you're the only one trained as a pilot. Yeah. So that the flight engineer beside you does all the engine management. So he does all the fuel, checks all the temperatures and pressures, sorts fuel tanks over, all that kind of thing, with this panel down here. So he's there to aid you as and when you need it. So in the centre you've got your throttle quadrant, so you've got like your accelerator on your car, you can change the RPM on the engines. It looks quite busy because there's 4 of lots of things because there's 4 engines. But it's fairly basic really. So it's like 4 Spitfire instrument panels.
And 4 engines is a good thing for safety as well, is it? If one gets shot?
Yeah, so you've got a level of redundancy there. So the aircraft can fly quite well on 3. 2, it's going to descend gracefully, and 1, you're in a bit of trouble.
Are there stories of planes making it home with 2?
Yes, yeah. And parts of the aircraft shot off and flak holes and things. So they're quite a sturdy, reliable aircraft. They'd have to jettison the bombs to reduce the weight of the aircraft. But
and then they could carry on.
Yeah, and stagger home. Yeah.
Wow, it's breathtaking to be in here. It really is.
There were just shy of about 7,300-ish of Lancasters made in different parts of the country and over in Canada as well.
7,000?
7,377, I think, is the official figure.
And how many did we lose?
We lost just over half on operations and training and various things.
Wow. And at the time, when the demand was really there, how quickly could they make one?
It's hard to say exactly how many in a week, but it's not many days for each one to be made once the production line's going.
Really?
So yeah, so you've got obviously different people making different things, different factories making different things, and they're all brought together to one place, bolted together and flown.
Good Lord.
So once everything's working, the process is underway, they're making them quite rapidly.
I wonder how that compares to a plane being made in 2025.
Yeah.
Considerably different.
Yeah, absolutely.
How many a week? I mean, even you saying that just sounds... I mean, obviously there was the need, and they needed to get them made quickly. But...
Well, if you consider how many they were losing every night, and then the following day, a replacement would be there to replace the aircraft that went missing. It's quite staggering, and that's just Lancasters.
And how about quality control? Would they be made to would there be a fault on something being made that quickly?
Yeah, so we're rebuilding this Lancaster to airworthy condition. So we're finding issues with, shall we say, the build standard. Perfectly fine for what it was needed for. I mean, they were average. They were going to last 30 flying hours, something like that.
Right.
So they weren't expected to last a huge amount of time. So they got their standard to where it needed to be for what it was doing. Building one now, then you're bringing in a lot better quality procedures and things that weren't there during wartime because they just weren't needed.
So if you get her back in the air, the bits that we can't see may be better than the bits that we would have seen if we'd have seen that area in the olden days.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So modern techniques and requirements from the CAA in the modern age. So there's parts that we take apart now on the aircraft that when they were built wouldn't be classed as airworthy by today's standards.
Andrew, you've brought me somewhere that people don't get to see, and this is pretty privileged. What's this?
So this is one of the 4 airworthy Merlin engines we have ready for the Lancaster for when it flies.
Wow. We are officially backstage. Public can't access this area, can they? But if you've been here and you've done the Lancaster experience, you've paid your money to come into this centre here, this is what you've contributed towards. Rolls-Royce, no less. So 4 of these will be needed to get the plane back off the ground.
Yep, that's right. So 4 airworthy fitted for flight, and then we'll overhaul one of them that's already on her to airworthy again, ready as a spare, just in case we need one. And
these are not manufactured today to match the old standards. These are originals that have been looked after or brought back up to standard.
Yeah, so they're all original engines that were built during wartime.
Wow.
So we buy them as kind of unknown items and send them for overhaul. The overhaul is about £120,000 per engine, which is good for 500 flying hours, and then it has to go back through overhaul at the same price again.
Well, keep coming here and having the Lancaster experience and paying your money on the gate, because this is an important 500 hours, then back again.
Yeah.
Wow, you wouldn't run it as a car, would you?
No.
No.
With the insurance and the running, the overhauls of the engines, the fuel, propeller overhaul, and everything like that, it's a very expensive aircraft to keep, definitely.
Is your hope when airborne day comes that you'll be able to sell flights and people will have a fly around.
Yeah, it's possible. So the CAA, who's the governing body for aviation, have said that they will work with us to be able to take passengers, and if that's our plan, to start, as we're restoring her, putting everything in place to be able to carry passengers in the future. Yeah.
Wow. If you've been considering one of those forthcoming trips to the moon or something, or to outer space, forget that. This is what you want to be doing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, get saving up. The Memorial Chapel, Andrew.
Yeah, so this is our memorial chapel here. It's in an original building, but it's been built into a chapel, and it holds the names of the about 860 aircrew and ground crew that were lost from here during 22 months of wartime service. This is an original wartime building for East Kirkby. There's not many control towers left in the world now. This is set up as it was during wartime, and we've got an original wartime photo of RAF East Kirkby's control tower as it was during wartime.
It's incredible. And people can come up here and sort of experience, due to the sound effects and so on, what life may have been like in those days. Not only the building, but what's going on.
Absolutely, yes. The soundtrack up here was created using veterans telling us what they would have said coming back on operations during wartime. So it was a script made with the help of wartime veterans.
Oh, wow. Who are these chaps?
So these are produced by Standing with Giants, and they represent a crew from RAF East Kirkby here. And you can learn about those crews in the control tower and where they fell.
Wow.
But these are the best seen in the morning, bright sun shining, so it casts a good silhouette of them against the building behind.
What you're saying is we've come at the wrong time of day.
Got the sunshine,
Yeah.
wrong time of day.
I understand. And inside here, what are we going to see?
So inside here we have a Handley Page Hampden being restored and a Bristol Blenheim being restored. They're both wartime early bombers from the Second World War. Hampden and Blenheim were kind of some of the first aircraft used by Bomber Command during the early war. And when people talk about Bomber Command, they just really talk about Lancasters, whereas we want to highlight the range of aircraft that Bomber Command used. So these two aircraft are due to go under restoration shortly. The Hampden is probably only going to be a cockpit section, with the rest of the aircraft left as wreckage. The Blenheim should be complete by the time we finished it. So this is the collection of the Royal Air Force Escaping Society. So this is all items that were produced in prisoner of war camps to help escape from the camps. So there's things like stamps that they made, documents they made. There's also items like secret items that were held within the aircrew's clothing, so that if they did bail out of the aircraft, it would help them to evade capture or escape from camp. So hidden compasses and hacksaw blades and all things like that.
Wow. I mean, those items I can get my head around, a compass and a hacksaw. How does a plate help you escape?
These commemorative plates. These
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah,
okay. Oh, not those. I saw the plates and I thought, what's the plan? Yeah, okay, right, okay.
Yeah, there's an amazing amount of items here that were actually used in the POW camps to help produce forged documents, and were used. Like there's a jacket from a Jew that was held in a camp, and it's got the kind of the target thing on the back, and all sorts of things here. So really interesting items from POW camps during the war.
We are not deliberately going to show you too much of this room, because I want you to come here and have a look round and see this amazing story for yourself, okay?